You are watching a master at work.
Hi guys, my name is Lupe and welcome to the Lupe Experience. The house of Giorgio Armani makes fantastic fragrances. Fragrances like the classic Acqua di Gio, like the smash hit Armani Code. And they have a private collection of very exclusive fragrances called Armani PRIVÉ. Today we'll be reviewing what is one of my favorites from that line. It is Armani PRIVÉ's Vetiver Babylone.
Put on my best. I can't believe that she's so fresh.
Armani PRIVÉ's Vetiver Babylone is created by the master perfumer Alberto Morillas. Now, if that name sounds unfamiliar, let me educate you. You know the fragrance Acqua di Gio, the fragrance that changed the entire face of perfumery in the 1990s to the early 2000s. That is the king of aquatic fragrance. It really ushered in that light, fresh, aquatic, cool era. CK1 followed. Tommy Hilfiger followed with a couple of classics. Perry Ellis did as well. But to this day, Acqua di Gio is one of the #1 selling fragrances in the entire world. As a matter of fact, it has been the #1 selling fragrance in the United States for the past 2 decades. So you know we're talking about a superstar master perfumer. He's the one that created this fragrance. So immediately we know we're getting top quality juice. Now, this fragrance is also award-winning. It won an award as the best new release in the luxury category from the FiFis, which is like the Oscars or the Grammys of fragrances, for the year it was launched in 2008. Armani PRIVÉ's Vetiver Babylone is a splashy yet substantive fragrance. You cannot overspray this one. It starts off with a blast of sweet citruses. The culprit is the Mandarin, but it's complemented by a little bit of lime and bergamot, giving it just a hint of greenness, but the citruses come off as quite sweet. Now, they are quite light and effervescent. They're not juicy, they're not thick, they're not candified, as I like to say. They are very natural and they're quite light. It's as if there's an aquatic element to this fragrance. And of course, harkening back to who the perfumer is, the creator of Acqua di Gio, small wonder. Now, right behind these sweet, light, aquatic citruses is a soft, woody base of vetiver and patchouli. The vetiver and patchouli just give off this woody, earthy, slightly dirty and smoky undertone, just giving some balance and some depth to the citrus. And in the heart of the fragrance lie spices that complement the fragrance quite well. The most notable character of this fragrance is the fluidity of its texture. This is a very smooth fragrance. It is so masterfully blended. As a matter of fact, you will be hard pressed to pick the notes apart in this fragrance because they so harmoniously merge into one another that it just comes off as one overall smell. Fantastic fragrance, one of the better citruses out there without a doubt, and in terms of the way this fragrance smells and how it progresses from first blast to dry down, it's beautiful and very smooth. Now, in terms of smell, the complement, this gets really high marks for me. It's a beautiful fragrance. I can't see anyone disliking this. I can see people not being wowed by it since it's not anything too exotic, not anything too revolutionary. However, if you like vetiver fragrances, if you like fresh fragrances, this will be prime time stuff for you because the level to which it's done in this fragrance is absolutely fantastic. I mean, these citruses just flow so perfectly with that soft woody base. It's really a fragrance that smells fresh, it smells clean, but it just has a touch of that Armani Italian sophistication to it. And I don't like fresh fragrances that much, but this is just one that I found so easy to wear. It's easy to splash on. And in terms of projection and longevity, it's not a very thick fragrance, so you're not getting a thick overwhelming, overbearing cloud of fragrance. It's quite splashy. You cannot overspray this one. With this one, I spray, easily 8 sprays. I make sure I get it on my clothes, on my skin. It has that cooling effect. It is quite light. It is not the most long-lasting fragrance. I usually get about 6 hours, but it lasts for a very long time on clothes. So if you spray this on your clothes, you will smell this fragrance on you all day. As a matter of fact, I sprayed it on one of my jackets, and it smelled of Vetiver Babylone for weeks. In terms of projection and how far it reaches, it's a very aromatic fragrance. It travels far, and it does travel wide within the first couple of hours that you have it on your skin. In terms of versatility, this is a very versatile fragrance. In terms of gender, the citruses are not too harsh, they're not too bitter, they're not too bright and out there, so it doesn't lean strictly traditionally masculine. They're mildly sweet, and the woody base is quite soft. So this is a vetiver that women can definitely pull off. However, just because the woody aromatic, traditionally this is what we would call a masculine fragrance. However, if you're a woman who likes to wear some masculine fragrances, you can check this one out. In terms of weather versatility, this is not very weather versatile. This does not work very well on the hottest of days, which is a paradox of sorts, because the composition, the smell, the lightness just tunes your mind towards summer and hot days, and you're dreaming of it cooling you down, but it does not last in absolute heat, on those sweltering, really hot days. Neither does it perform on the coldest of days. So it works best indoors. It works best in moderate temperature. So rainy days, spring days, fall days, this is a classic fragrance to reach for. In terms of occasion versatility, this is one that can be a signature scent. To be honest, it will work in every single situation. Now, this is what I call a jack of all trades, a master of none. And what I mean by that is that it's going to work perfectly in every situation, but in specific situations, there are probably other fragrances that will work better than this. So if you're someone who has a vast collection of fragrances where you can have one fragrance for dates, one fragrance for partying, one fragrance for work, one fragrance for holiday, one fragrance for church, this would not be something that you necessarily need to have. But if you're looking for just 1 or 2 fragrances, this is definitely a good option that will cover all of your bases. In terms of uniqueness, this is a very unique fragrance. There are very few fragrances that I can compare this to in terms of composition, but in terms of smell, it's absolutely unique. I'm not surprised that this fragrance won an award. I mean, the blend is fantastic. It's so fluid. It is so smooth. It is described as a woody aromatic. However, this definitely does have aquatic elements to it. And if you're somebody who is looking for a fragrance that smells, really smooth, a fragrance that is fresh, that's not overbearing, something that will work perfectly for work, this is definitely one that you do have to check out. And in my opinion, this is one of the best vetiver fragrances on the market. There are different types of vetivers. You can get the smoky, woody, earthy vetivers, and you can get the fresher vetivers. In terms of the fresher vetivers, like Tom Ford's Grey Vetiver, like Terre d'Hermès, this is the top of the totem pole. And I love that I have it in my collection.